Welcome to That's My Farm. I'm your guest host, Sam Capoun, and today we're in Scranton, Kansas at the Frank and Sons Ranch. We're going to hear a little bit about the Hereford cattle and what they have to offer, so stay tuned.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome to That's My Farm. I'm your guest host, Sam Capoun, and today we're in Scranton, Kansas at the Frank and Sons Ranch with Bob and Ed. So guys, tell me a little bit about the ranch.
Well, we're fifth generation. Our great-great-grandfather came here in 1868 from Germany. Family has been in the Hereford cattle business since 1896, and for almost 100 years, that's all we had was registered Hereford cattle.
So kind of tell me a little bit about what you guys do now then on your ranch. Do you guys still have the Herefords then?
Still have Hereford cattle. 22 years ago, Ed and I became managers and co-owners, and we made the decision at that time to add a commercial herd and using strictly Hereford and Angus genetics.
So what do you do, Ed? How do you help the operation?
Oh, it's kind of a joint effort. We just, whatever needs to be done, we do. I don't know, we seem to be able to read each other's minds and know what needs to be done, whether it's feeding cattle or veterinarian work or planning breedings. We both kind of equally share in the responsibilities.
So how does that work with both of you there together then? I know some people have complications when they have two people in the family working on the operation. Do you guys work together pretty well then?
Yeah, we do. I mean, there's always the occasional disagreement, but we usually get that ironed out pretty quick. As far as when we are selecting cattle to buy, bulls, if we're going to a sale or a private treaty, we'll each look over the offerings and kind of make our own top 5 list. And usually when we get together, we're pretty close on each having the same top 4 or 5. So we kind of have the same idea of what direction we want to go and are pretty well able to hone in on that.
So what do you guys see as far as the future for you guys' ranch?
Well, that's a tough question.
Good question.
We haven't pushed the kids into following in. It's going to kind of be up to them. Our kids, they're going to have to go out and find out for sure what they want to do, and if they want to come back to the farm, why, that opportunity will be here. But if they don't, why, that's the way it is. But they've got their own lives to live and their own choices to make on that.
It's not an 8 to 5 job. It's not a 40-hour-a-week job. You know, if you're going to do it, you better have a passion for it. You better love it, or otherwise it becomes a labor, and I wouldn't want that on anybody.
So what made you guys decide that you actually wanted to come back to the ranch?
I've always, I guess as a kid, was always tagging along with Dad or Grandpa and working on the farm, and our parents and grandparents kind of instilled in us the pride of getting work done and accomplishing things, and I just always enjoyed being out on the farm.
What about you, Bob?
I guess the same thing, you know. I just enjoy the outdoors. I enjoy cattle. I guess our parents instilled in us work ethic and fooled us into realizing that hard work is actually a fun and enjoyable thing. So.
Perfect. Well, stay tuned. We'll be right back with That's My Farm, and we'll hear more about their cattle.
Visit our picturesque town on the Santa Fe Trail for the Council Grove Fall Festival, featuring the Voices of the Wind People pageant on the banks of the Neosho River, September 16 and 17.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
Support Kansas agriculture education with an AgriTag. Agri-tags are available anytime at your county treasurer. They look great on cars and trucks. For more information, go online to ksagclassroom.org.
When your living depends on agriculture, you can depend on KFRM 550 AM. If you're in the southwest three-fourths of Kansas or the northern half of Oklahoma, catch us at 550 AM on the radio dial. But if that isn't you, listen on your cell phone at TuneIn Radio or on your computer at KFRM.com. We promise to keep you informed, entertained, and company as you go through your day. KFRM 550 AM, the voice of the plains. We would like to join your management team.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. So you guys told us a little bit about the generational of your guys' farm here. So tell us about what kind of cattle you guys have.
Well, we've got registered Hereford cattle. They first came in 1896, as I said before. And for almost 100 years, that's all we had was Hereford cattle. And then in 1994, we decided that some of our cows were pretty good producing registered cows. We kept them registered, but some of them needed to become commercial cows. So we decided economic reasons to go with Angus and Hereford in our commercial cow herd. So we started bringing in Angus genetics.
So how many cows do you guys usually have?
We usually run around 160, 165 cows. The drought in 2012 and 13, we had to cull quite a few, 60 head in 2 years to make it through first year with not a lot of grass, and the second year we were running out of water, so we had to cull pretty hard.
What difference did you guys see after that?
Well, it sure improved our herd.
The first cut wasn't too tough. They were older cows or cows that weren't top producers, but then when we started get past the first 20, the next 40, they were pretty tough. They were still some cows that were good producers, but they were starting to get some age, so we just kind of went from oldest to youngest, started culling. So those are some pretty tough cuts that second round.
So how did you guys decide to go a mix of Angus and Hereford?
Oh, it's pretty much an economic thing. Angus complement the Hereford breed very well. You know, the Black Baldy, it's a great cross. People want Black Baldy females in their herd, very popular female. Brings the best of both breeds together into one package. And then the feeder steers, you know, the black hide is popular. Angus have done a great job in their marketing program. So the steers have a black hide, but that white face representing that Hereford breed is in that animal too.
Now in terms of breeding, what's your guys' scheme there?
We try and, calving ease and longevity and fertility are at the top of the list is what we look for, and then we start moving into the performance areas and carcass quality. But you've got to get the calf on the ground, and that cow's got to be a good productive cow and problem-free.
So how do you guys breed? Are you ET, just bulls, AI? A little bit of both?
Mostly natural service.
Yeah, with the commercial cows especially is all natural service. We use a lot of the bulls that we raise on our commercial cows. That's kind of how we got back into raising bulls, was to raise bulls for ourselves. We were having a little trouble finding quite what we were looking for, so we decided we'd get back into raising bulls.
On the registered end, why we use AI and then we clean up with our bulls. But and then 2 years ago we flushed some cows. We picked out 4 of our top producers and flushed them. So we will have our second crop of ET calves this fall.
That's really a new and up and coming thing, I think, in the ag industry is the ET. I think it's helping people a lot, just getting their good ones up to the top. Yeah. Well, stay tuned. We'll be right back with That's My Farm.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher, leaving more time to tend to other vital tasks on the farm. To learn more, visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. We're once again here in Scranton, Kansas with the Frank Huggins Sons Ranch. So guys, I understand that you do a lot of Hereford cattle. Why do you choose the Hereford breed?
Well, for one reason, tradition. 100 years ago, our great-great-grandfather decided that Hereford cattle was the way to go, and we've stayed with it over the years. Their maternal breed is their biggest strength, and they're very fertile. You got to get cattle bred in order to stay productive, to stay in the business. So that's one of the main reasons we went with Hereford, just because it's tradition.
What kind of changes have you seen over the years with the breed, fluctuations-wise?
Oh, in the 70s and 80s was kind of the frame race where they tried to jack up the frame on the cattle, and they did that in several breeds, but the Herefords definitely took that to the extreme, and that was one thing our dad and grandfather always shied away from. They said, if you stay in the middle of the road and moderate cattle, they're the ones that are going to work, and they're the ones that are going to last. And they knew early on that the frame race was not going to last because it wasn't going to be profitable.
So what type of cattle do you guys like now then?
We shoot for our cows to be a frame 5 to maybe a frame 6, and the bulls are usually about a 5.5 to a 6 frame. Mature cows are going to weigh around between 12 and 1,400 pounds.
So how does that help your guys' marketing scheme to buyers?
Those cattle, the more moderate framed, enough frame that they're going to put on weight in the feedlot, but not so big a frame that they're never going to get finished out. So that attracts the feeder buyers. And as far as the replacement females that we sell, that's kind of what most people are looking for to put back in their herd, a little more moderate sized animal.
Now the Hereford breed is really up and coming in terms of selling a lot more meat. You talked about the CAB. How is the Hereford breed doing now? Do you guys see more buyers in terms of looking for the Herefords?
People are coming back to Hereford cattle. They've used Angus for so long, they've started to lose some punch on heterosis. So they're looking at breeds that can complement Angus. And the black baldy is pretty hard to get around. So the only way to get that is to come back to Hereford bulls. So we're seeing a huge demand in the last several years for Hereford bulls.
Are you guys selling your own here?
Yes, we market. We keep some bulls back that we'll use ourselves, and then we usually sell around 10 to 12 bulls a year.
Perfect. Well, stay tuned. We'll be right back with That's My Farm.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
The new Better Horses Network is worldwide. Presented by Lucas Oil. Featuring worldwide radio and TV with iconic hosts like Al Dunning, Sharon Camarillo, Ernie Rodina, Lindy Birch, and Craig Cameron. With American Cowboy, Horse and Rider, Brushy Creek, Cavenders, and Ride TV. Worldwide radio and TV. The all-new Better Horses Network.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. So we heard a little bit earlier about your guys' ranch, and now tell me about how you guys make it work with being teachers and also working back on the farm as well.
Well, we don't do row crops, so that takes a little bit of the time element out of it. But we do fall and spring calving, and the cows we've kind of worked hard on calving ease, so the cows kind of have to take care of themselves. You know, the heifers get checked maybe once or twice a day. The commercial cows, they might only get checked once every other day during calving season. So we've kind of worked to make sure we have as problem-free cattle as possible to help out with the time of us also working away from home.
So how long have you guys been doing this, teaching and working on the farm?
I've been teaching, this will be my 33rd year.
This will be my 25th year teaching.
And both of our wives teach as well, so we don't have any outside help. It's just us, so we don't have a lot of room for error.
So what made you guys decide to do both?
Our dad told us a long time ago when we were still in school that we needed to, once we got out of high school, we needed to have some kind of a second income to fall back on during the tough times. So he was a pretty strong proponent of getting some kind of an education or a trade or a skill.
So you guys obviously have your cow herd, and now you're making another form of income by selling steers that you guys have raised here to some family and friends, maybe some faculty at the school you guys work at. How does that work?
Well, we market our steers through Santa Fe Trail Meats. They're our processor. And the people that buy from us, family and friends, we don't advertise, it's all word of mouth. They pay for the processing, and then they pay us per pound on hanging weight. And they'll buy either quarters or they'll buy halves. And our customer base has grown up to over 30 people, 30 customers. So it's been a good way to market our cattle and to get people out there eating beef that they enjoy. They don't want to buy store-bought beef. They want to know where it came from.
Definitely. I think that there's a lot of reports in the media these days that people don't know where their food's coming from, and having you guys here and local and a great source for beef is an excellent job. Well, stay tuned. We'll be right back with That's My Farm.
Person who's involved in egg production, cattle ranching, Bill Rischel here in North Platte, told me about Kansas Regenerative Medicine. And after talking to Dr. Pope, we did a lot of reading and researching, looking on the internet about it. I guess the thing that impressed me is that he told me, he said, if we don't think it's going to help you, we're not going to do it. I thought that was a very good approach. I'm a former athlete, played college basketball, played overseas after college, had some severe trauma on the right ankle, right knee, joint in my hand also. This brace is what I had to wear all the time. Now I don't wear this during the day. That's a real improvement for me. My knee doesn't bother me. This joint came around quick. It was the first thing I noticed improving. You can see in the background here there's different fish and game that I hunt. The ability to walk was impacting my outdoor endeavors. I think it's really valuable, and encourage anybody that's interested to go down and at least do a consultation with them.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
We do business with Blueville because of the quality of their work. It is excellent quality, and because they make a commitment to their customers.
We enjoy the benefits of hiring a good company to help us maintain this home.
We will always do business with Blueville. We have for many, many years, and there's no reason for us to look for any other service.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. We're now going to wrap up the segments about the Frank Hug & Sons Ranch here. So you guys talked about your cattle, you talked a little bit about your marketing plan, but tell me a little bit more about that, about what you do with your cattle after they hit the ground.
Well, as far as our registered cattle, our plan is we sell our bulls private treaty, and we market 10 to 12 bulls a year that way. So we don't have a big registered herd, but we think what we have, what we can offer people is quality.
Most of our registered cows are fall calvers, so when we sell those bulls in the spring, they're going to be about 18 months to 20 months old and ready to go out and can breed quite a few cows.
So in terms of your calf crop and heifers and steers, what do you do with them afterwards?
The steers, we wean, most of our commercial cows are in the fall calving cows as well, and we'll wean them about the end of June, and then we'll run them on grass after we wean them until the middle of August, and we market them through local sale barns. The heifers that we're going to retain for our own herd, we'll develop them throughout the fall on a pretty low protein ration and out on native grass. We also, since most of our cows are fall calvers, we tend to, if we get the chance, buy back heifers from bull buyers, their heifer calves out of our bulls, and we'll develop those heifers and breed them and then sell them either as bred heifers or calve them out and sell them as pairs.
So we talked a little bit earlier about how it's important that people know where their food's coming from and where their beef's coming from. Why is it important that you work with your other buyers and along with yourselves to maintain your cow herd?
I think there's some incentive if you sell a bull to somebody. He knows that you believe in that animal if you're willing to buy back some of those calves. So it's worked out for us, it works out for them, and I think it's just a good marketing plan.
And it's also just a matter of reputation and trust that you build up over time with your customers, and we have a lot of repeat bull buying customers. And also with the when we market our steers at the sale barn, most years it's usually the same 2 or 3 buyers that are bidding on and buying those steers year after year.
In the Hereford breed in general, it's a lot of trust, and that's why they do things like the Hereford tours, and you guys are actually going to be a part of the Hereford tour this year, right?
That's correct.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there's going to be about 150 to 200 people here, and most likely from 7 or 8 states. It's a great opportunity to have that many people on your property. Since we don't have a production sale, it's private treaty, so we don't get that opportunity to have people show up like in those kind of numbers just every day.
Well, it's just a chance to show them the kind of cattle we raise and how the Herefords can function in these kind of conditions and the way that we operate. You know, like we said before, they have to take care of themselves. They have to be pretty problem-free.
Well, Bob and Ed, thanks for joining us today. It's been an awesome opportunity to hear about your guys' farm that you have here and what you guys are doing. And you come a long ways, especially the Hereford breed, and we wish you luck in the future. And thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on That's My Farm, and make sure you check us out every Friday on Ag AM in Kansas. Thanks for joining us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.